Hello class, today we are going to start some multi-digit multiplication, and we're going to start with a strategy called multiplication wrestling. It'll be very similar to the array strategy that we talked about briefly in class before. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Now this may look very intimidating, but it's not that bad, so just stick with me. Let's say we are going to do 52 times 36. Now when we're doing multiplication wrestling, very much like the array strategy, we're splitting up these numbers into some addition problems. So you can split it up by just kind of saying, so say 52. So that's the same as 50 plus 2. 36. So the same as 36. Now the next thing that we do is we take turns just multiplying all of these different parts times each other. It's not going to be that bad. Yesterday we talked a little bit about how we deal with multiplication facts when there's a zero involved. So this splits it up very nicely so that everything we do we can just add a zero to, or it's just a one digit times a one digit. So the first one that you're going to do, you're going to have 50 times 30. So we're going to write that 50 times 30. Now when we look at that, they end in zeros. So yesterday we learned we can just do 3 times 5, which is 15, and add those two zeros back on. So we have 1,500 for that one. Let's keep going. Next we're going to do 50 times 6. 50 times 6. Again, we have another 0 here. So we can do 6 times 5 is 30, and add that 0 on. So you could probably guess which one is going to come next. Let's try this color. We have 2 times 30. 2 times 30. So we do 2 times 3 is 6, and add that 0 back on. And then the last one we're going to do is 2 times 6. So 2 times 6. No zeros involved. We just do 2 times 6, and that gives us a 12. Now to figure out our total answer then, we just add up all of these partial products that we have here. So we have 1,500, 360, and 12. Make sure that they are lined up by place value, so you're adding all of the ones places together. So we get a 2, 0, 0, 6, and 1 gives us a 7, 5 and 3 is an 8, and just a 1. We end up with an answer of 1,872. Alright, let's try another one. Let's just make up a problem. Let's do 25 times, let's do 43. 25 times 43. So you can pause it and look at how I set this up, and then we'll check it here in just a moment. Alright, let's take a peek at what we should have done. So here's 25, so write 25, 43, 43. Now, some of you may get to a point where you don't need to write out all of this stuff here, and you can just kind of find those partial products and add them together. That is totally fine if it is working for you. If it's not working for you yet, I want to see this kind of written structure on your paper at this point. So the first thing we're going to do is 20 times 40. 20 times 40. Should have gotten an 8 with 2 zeros, which is 800. Then 20 times 3. 20 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 0 gives us a 60. The next thing you should have done is 5 times 40. 5 times 40. 5 times 4 is 20. With 1 0 is a 200. Then you should have done 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. When we add all of those up, we should end up with a 5, a 7, and a 10 there. So we get 1,075. So make sure you mark down how well you think you're doing, beginning, developing, secure, and have that ready to apply this tomorrow.